Hey Booze, thank you for tuning into Young Monarchs YouTube channel. This week's podcast episode is all about natural hair in the workplace, our society, what we go through to look so beautiful, and the many different ways, styles we can present ourselves. Check it out. So, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Young Monarchs podcast. Today, we're talking about natural hair in the workplace and society, everything that pretty much goes into us as Black women and our hair. I'm joined by my little sister Kayla. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see her in her twist outs. My best friend Priscilla, you can see her giving her summertime natural blown out vibes. My friend Jasmine from my last job giving you slick bun here on YouTube. But today, like I said, we're going to go into everything that has to do with our natural hair because I feel like for me working in, I guess, quote unquote, corporate world for 8 years, not 8 years, I'm not that old. I don't know, like 5 years, 4 or 5 years now since I graduated college. My hair has been either a big conversation at every single job I've been at, or it's been like people want to touch your hair or they want to look at you a little crazy or they're looking at your hair. So I thought this conversation was necessary. But thank you ladies for joining today.
Thank you for having us.
Definitely.
So I guess we can just go ahead and jump into the bullshit segment of the podcast. Usually this segment is like sharing some current events of what's going on, but with everything going on and nobody being outside, we can use this time to kind of share our own like natural hair stories. I was going to start by saying at my last job, where I worked with Jasmine, we worked with all white ladies and like one white guy. And it was just interesting. I wasn't the first Black person on my team. There was another girl before that who wore her hair natural. But when I came on the team, and then my friend Kayla and Jasmine, it was all of us. Like we all had natural hair. We all wore our hair in our own different states. So we would just see we would go have conversations of people like either making comments or saying slick things. And when I was at work one day, the VP of the company that will remain nameless for this podcast came to me when I first got to work. And I had my fresh wash and go, which is like my go-to natural hairstyle. And she spent, like the first thing she did was touch my hair. Be like, oh, this is so pretty. And we love your curls. We're always talking about your curls and we love them. And it instantly rubbed me the wrong way because one, it was kind of like, okay, so you talk about my hair when I'm not around. So in what context are you having the conversations? And then why do you feel like it's okay because my hair may be curly? And I feel like it's the curly that makes people like attracted to like, oh, let me touch, or oh, what is this? And it's like, you don't have like the right to touch me if you wouldn't touch Karen's freshly blown out blonde curls. Like, don't touch me if you're not going to touch and caress her hair as well. Right. Do y'all have anything like that? Has ever happened?
Well,
go ahead.
Just to piggyback off of what you were saying about the job, Tierra, I witnessed another situation with another Black girl who will remain nameless that we work with. She likes to play with color with her hair. She'll color her hair red one week, and then the next week it'll be blonde. Mm-hmm. And she got a lot of questions about her hair from her white counterparts, like, oh, you changed your hair, how did you do that? Or like just weird questions. And it's like, yeah, I changed my hair color, so what? Like, why do you feel entitled to come and ask me if I changed my hair when I clearly changed my hair?
Yeah.
And it's another example of like a microaggression. Like, you really want to ask who do you think you are coming in here like that? But you're covering it with what you think are like nice or inquisitive questions and
Yeah.
comments.
And I feel like I was gonna let Kayla tell her story. I feel like to your point, I don't know. I don't want to be like put everybody in a boat, but I do feel like when it comes to sometimes like people of other ethnicities will make comments and on their end it's meant to be shady, but they think they're being slick. But
Mhm.
we know slick. We are slick. So it's like not
Definitely.
like this is not I know what you're trying to do here. And it can go
Right.
one of two ways depending on how I respond to you. And that's kind of unfortunate that it puts it back in our hands because we can't let them know like I know you're being shady. I know you're being like blatantly disrespectful in your own way.
Right.
You have your story, Kayla?
Um,
Because you've been in school for a long time. So what have you experienced since graduating or in general with your hair?
I guess in general, since like high school, I would say like we went to a very mixed high school, but mostly like Caucasian people. But I think it's more of like a curiosity they have.
Hmm.
It's like a very fine line between, the microaggression questions and then the like genuine, I just want to know because I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think my thing is like trying to decipher if you really want to know, like, about our hair and stuff like that, or if you're just like,
Yeah. I
you get
had my best friend my freshman year of college was white. She had like long blonde hair. And we lived together as soon as I got to Georgia Southern when I did EIP. EIP? Yeah, I think that's what it's still called. Um, and she, to your point, I didn't know because we went to a predominantly like kind of white school. And when we were in high school, I got more questions from Black people than I did white people about my hair. Black people wanted to
I
know,
did
well, what
too.
are you? Like the first question, what are you? And it's kind
Yeah.
of, and that's even unfortunate on the same end because then I didn't know like what do you mean? What am I? I'm Black. My hair is curly because my sister's hair is curly. My dad's hair is curly. My whole family's hair is curly. Why are you asking me what I am? I'm obviously Black. And that was kind of like that's like in our society of like do you have to be something else to have a certain type of texture or something? But when it comes to people outside of our culture, I learned to just decipher because my roommate, like I said, she was blonde. She wanted to touch my hair, and but it came off very like curious, like you know, because she had never. Her school was 98% white. She said like maybe two Black people went to her high school, and it came off as like just innocent curiosity as to like, oh, you came in last week with straight hair. How does your hair get so curly when you just put it under the sink?
They,
Or like, why can't my hair do that? How do I get my hair curly like yours? Was the positive experiences that I've experienced with other people.
yeah, that's kind of where I was going with it. Like, I've never had, or I don't think I've had, I might have blocked it out, but I've never really had like a bad experience with people asking, because I would just say like, why do you want to touch? Like, why do you feel that you need to touch my hair? It's just me. Like, if I'm looking at you, I can kind of tell in my mind how it feels, but that's just me.
Yeah.
But I could say like some things, like I've worked with, white ladies before, and my old boss, like the last time I saw her, something like that, she gave me a hug, but then like, because my hair is long when it's straight, so it's like down my back. So she gave me a hug, but then she kind of like pulled, like touched my hair as she like back, and I was like,
What are you doing?
do that to anybody. That's just weird. What did I do in this situation?
It's just weird.
with my little hair tie and put it back up.
Girl, no, you gotta walk. People be taking your hair to do like voodoo stuff.
Like, I guess she wanted to feel it, but like
No.
that
That
was
was
weird.
a horrible, slick way to do it.
Yeah.
Don't let her.
And Kayla, to your point, I can agree with you from my personal experience. I usually get questions about my hair. I've never had someone of another race be bold enough to touch my hair. I'm not really sure how I would react. I know how I think I would react, and I would like immediately make them feel uncomfortable if they did. Like I process my brain to do that. But the experience that I had was like if I wear my hair in a natural hairstyle, like a twist out or flat twist, they're like, how long did it take to do that? And how cool is that? How do you get it to lock up? So I get those questions. And to your point, I think those are like probably genuine, curious questions that they're just interested to know because, you know, their hair does not coil and cornrow or none of that. So those type of questions I usually don't take offense to, but it's the microaggressions that
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not even microaggressive. Like at my job, I know I used to tell Tiara all the time, oh gosh, I changed my hair. Like, what am I gonna hear today? But I like walked into the building, and the first thing the lady says, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, did I do something? I just walked in. And she's like, you're here. And then the thing that got me so upset is like, there's other people around, like other offices. There's a guy who works there as well. You know, like us women, like our hair, you know, like things about our nails, the way, like what we're wearing. I wouldn't like point something out about another woman in front of a man. It's just like certain things as women we don't do. Like, just respect me as a woman sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's all I ask for. Anyways, and then she's like, what is that? Are you wearing a wig? And I'm like, because one day, because my hair is short, and I had like the awkward length. Like I had like long hair at the top, and everything else was shaved around my hair, around my head. So everything was starting to grow out. So I had the awkward length. There was nothing I could do with my hair besides like put it in braids or wear wigs. So one day I wore a black wig, and the next day I wore a brown wig. It wasn't even crazy colors and nothing. It was just like regular, like black, brown. And then like some days I wore my hair short. It is what it is. Like it's my hair. It's my liberty to do. As long as it's professional, you shouldn't have a problem with it. And I was just like, like, who are you to even say that out loud? Like, if you wanted to come and figure it out, you could have asked me during my lunch break, like, hey, I like your hair. What have you been like? Let me know. Like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? So I don't.
She done cut on out. But these stories, it's crazy that I guess my frustration is kind of like the whole why to it. Why in general do I have to explain my hair? Why in general do I get asked about my hair?
Right.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, we didn't hit the very ending part of it.
Okay. But like I said, I literally blacked out because one of those moments, like, I don't want to look like the angry black woman, especially if I'm the only.
Done cut out again.
Got a lot of editing to do.
Right. Well, while we wait, a lot of what she was saying and what we mentioned earlier about the like wig question, like, are you wearing a wig?
Mm-hmm.
I get that a lot. I think from Black people, honestly, and they're like, I've had some people genuinely ask, can I just touch it? Because like they literally did not believe it was my hair, especially when I had the bob cut, and I'm like, y'all are weird.
Yeah, they just want to touch. So, how do y'all feel about just in general, like Priscilla, to what you were saying about your job? You told me stories almost every single day that your hair was changed, of somebody making a comment and being like, "Oh, I like your hair, this style you have it today," or like kind
Yeah,
of.
I don't even mind that. I don't even mind that I like your hair. It's the there's something different about it, or like, what did you do to it? It was just like, if you like it, say you like it, just and
Yeah.
keep it moving. I take a compliment. That's cool. Thank you.
Has any of those things made you guys like kind of censor how you wear your hair? Like, I know I work at like a predominantly white agency, to whereas um I like sometimes I can say like I probably shouldn't do this, but I still do think about like I'm in a role on the growth team, so I'm always in front of clients. I'm trying to help my company get new business. And it's unfortunate that sometimes I'm conscious of the fact like, should I get braids right now? Like, should I get braids right now? Should I wear my two French braids to work, or should I wear my hair down and curly today? Or like interviews. How many of us straighten our hair to go to the
Girl.
interview, and then on
Yeah.
day one, I come in the door with the big curls? It's like we do censor it, but it's like, how do you guys feel about that? I feel like it's a little bit unfortunate that we have to do that, especially the straightening our hair to get the job. And once we get the job, then it's like, oh, here's my braids, here's my cornrows, here's my curls.
Yeah.
But to
I,
get in the door, we have to look a certain way.
I would say for me, I think it is sad because I always straighten my hair for interviews. Even for like I interviewed for a big tech company that's like all inclusive, but I still felt the need to like look a certain way for that interview. And then, like you said, day one, I had my wash and go because I'm like, I'm here. But I do eventually one day just want to like go into an interview like this and have that be accepted because it is like my hair. I don't it goes back to that whole like Eurocentric standard of beauty, and whoever you're interviewing with is going to see you in their eyes. So most of the time we're interviewing with, white males or white females. So I guess that's us trying to play that part to get that role, which,
Yeah. Trying to like, it's kind of like you're trying to level set your perception of someone else's idea of beauty.
yeah.
Like everybody might not think coming in with like your hair in like box braids is quote unquote acceptable, whereas my goal is to be in a leadership position to where I can make those conversations and have those interviews where it's like, you got box braids, come on in. I'm not looking at the way that you're presenting yourself in this one time to me, because leadership should be conscious to know like this is a false picture I'm putting up here in this interview. Day one, when you see my curls, you're gonna know what it is and know what I stand for.
And I
But
Right.
think that
different.
goes more into like educating people. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, if we had these conversations with people of multiple races, they'll probably understand, like, how we feel about our hair and why, you might not want to ask that question. You might not want to reach your hand to my head. But I think it all comes to, like, having those conversations. So, even with, like, my white friends, if they have questions, I'll answer your questions because I'd rather you ask me than, go up to somebody else on the street. They might not be as nice about it,
Sure.
but just educating them, they can educate, their friends and all that stuff so that we can dwindle down all these microaggressions and feeling like we have to straighten our hair and stuff
So
like
do y'all feel
I
like, go ahead, Priscilla?
I also think it's like a perception of what is professional and what isn't.
Yeah.
Somehow the styles that we put in our hair is not professional, and the styles that they have are professional. And it kind of reminded me of like this, I wouldn't say incident, but like this little thing I had with someone that I worked with. She's like, oh, she loved me and another coworker who has curly hair. She said, I love your guys' hair. She used the words wild. She said it's wild and curly. And she said, my hair is normal. My hair is just normal and flat. And I told her, what makes your hair normal and my hair wild?
Right. And why
You know what
is
I'm saying?
normal the world word?
Yeah,
Because you can be like, well, your hair is
You know.
whatever it is.
whatever it is.
But as I'm saying, like it's the perception of what people perceive to be is normal or professional, and somehow we just don't fit into their idea of what is normal and professional. Somehow our styles and types of hair is just it's not in that book.
So do you guys have styles that you feel are off limits for going to work? I know I really want to ask that question to Jasmine because at work your hair was always like every week you had a different
Oh,
style.
girl, Jasmine.
But is it like do you guys ever feel like there's certain styles that you're not gonna wear to work?
Um, I definitely wouldn't wear a scarf to work. I know some black girls who do. They have their bun and their scarf on at work, holding down their edges, and they are just fine. I can't bring myself to doing that. And I can't bring myself to bantu knots. I've done flat twists, twist outs, ponytails, big bush balls, whatever. But those are the only two that I just want to save myself the attention. I don't want to bring extra attention to myself, so I just don't wear those styles.
Kayla, Priscilla, do y'all have some stuff that you keep off limits?
I've definitely done the scarves, the head wraps, and every single time I wore my head wrap, I would get a comment. Yeah, every single time. It's no brainer. And I think Bantu knots are tricky too. It's partially because I'm just terrible at them, so they look like trash. Um, but I probably wouldn't do Bantu knots either. Or like super colorful hair.
Yeah.
Or like styles that remind me of when I was a kid. Just because I feel like I don't know, it's just some styles, not necessarily like aesthetically, they probably would not make me look like a child still today, whatever. But I just feel like I like to feel. So I feel like having confidence in the workplace is important, and if you're worried about like the way people are already perceiving you, that's just I feel like to me would make things harder for me as a person.
Yeah.
So like a couple of twists in my head, I probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Or like another style is when you get braids, the length of your hair. I'm conscious about that too.
Mm-hmm.
I have gone like big jumbo box long braids, and it was fun, but you still have. I kept them pulled back. I never would wear them out, and I never wore them up.
Yeah.
Oh, do y'all have like a waiting period for when you like just go full natural in the workplace? You like give it 2 weeks, a month, and then I'm gonna start wearing my bantu knots, or like how?
I don't know. I know for me, when I interview for a job, I hope that I get and start that job in that same like couple of weeks because the interview will get straight hair and then day 1 and 2 might get straight hair. But I kind of feel like once you're in the door, like eventually they're going to see the curly hair. So if they've already hired you hopefully specifically based off of your experience and your resume, I don't feel like anybody should have a problem like day 1 your hair is curly.
Another thing that I'm conscious about is my LinkedIn picture. I have an old picture that probably doesn't even look like how I look now. It's like 5 years old. But it's like just a regular little bland picture with my hair pulled back in a ponytail. But it's one of the only like straight professional pictures that I have. I have some nice selfie pictures, but my hair is curly in it. And for the longest, I kept going back and forth like, okay, I don't have a professional headshot. I haven't taken a professional headshot because I'm always wearing my hair natural. But if I put this on LinkedIn, is this going to affect how many recruiters reach out to me? And I noticed that I got less activity when I did post my picture with my natural hair, and it was curly, but I ended up changing it back because I felt like that picture probably gave a perception or a stance to some recruiters that they like are intimidated by.
And it's so it's confusing because like you as a person wonder like, well, what's the problem with my hair? And it all comes down to just the ignorance of not understanding and not wanting to understand, because it gets into like the state law that was passed last year against natural hair, just hair discrimination in the workplace. Why is it that if you just like, to us, it's like what do we call it? Like when we cut all our hair off. I can't think of the word right now.
The big chop? What do you mean?
Right, we do a big chop, and some people could leave them with like a little afro. Why should someone not feel comfortable enough to, judge up their afro in the morning and come to work? Why do you feel like you have to braid it down and have braids or wear wigs? And even with these laws in place, there's still a major discrimination, especially with Black men and how they wear their hair. Like I like Black men with a small cut, like that's cool. But what about the ones who like their hair long and are very smart and intelligent and capable of all the roles that a job may be offering, but because they have dreads or because they have long hair and they like to wear it braided, it's already like they're a Black man, so one strikes against them, and then, oh, you have hair, like you're out of here. They don't even walk in the door. I feel like, I don't know you guys' thoughts on that law, but it just kind of it was a quick reminder that we're not where we need to be, even now.
Like, heard it firsthand. Like my roommate had a friend, and he had like long dreads, and he had an interview, like a corporate interview, like they flew him out. He cut off his dreads for the interview. And then after he got back, he because you can reattach them.
Reattach, yes.
He attached it, and I was like these were like long, and I was like, I almost got sad. I was like, what? He did that? Like, why? But
and then that's like it. I feel like that your story is the exact trauma that some Black people experience. The fact that I want to have a lot of sons. I don't know about y'all, but I don't plan on cutting their hair. Their hair will grow until they can make the conscious decision of how they want to wear their hair. But it hurts my heart to think like this little boy could have had dreads his entire life. Wanted the dreads, wanting to be like that old grandpa with dreads to the floor. But you felt like after somebody had already offered you a plane ticket and maybe a hotel to come interview, it's just kind of like what do you have to be experiencing internally to feel like you're going to chop off everything that you worked so hard for when it comes to your hair?
Yeah. One thing that I admire about my fiance, he works corporate too, and he was always clean cut guy, but he decided that when I got pregnant with our son, he wanted to grow his hair out because he wanted his son to see his father with hair and to start from a young age, instilling that self-love and self-worth. So when our son is our age, he won't feel like he has to compromise anything about himself to be accepted.
Yeah.
And I feel like we are kind of at that, but we're part of an older system, so sometimes we just have to make those sacrifices. But yeah, he's moving forward with it. He recently just had an interview with 2 old white guys, and he had to do it virtually, and he had his braids cornrowed to the back, and he was like, he know that they were kind of looking at him like, what are we doing? But his interview and resume spoke for itself, so they're giving him a chance. And I thought that was a progressive, act on their side to, move forward with that. So, and that goes to show some companies do actively try to accept us for who we are in our work, not how we look. but you still have your traditional companies who just people who just make it more difficult than what it has to be.
Yeah.
I think it really like the more like modern companies, tech companies, like I love tech companies. Like you can come to work however you want to come to work and nobody's going to say anything because they just know like, you know, if I want to come to work with purple hair and a mohawk, I can. And if I want to come to work in pajamas or a suit, I can. Like it's more of an accepting environment.
Yeah.
I have a question for everyone. Have you had experience with the black girls at work who don't do anything to their hair, like, and the attention and like how they're treated by our white counterparts? Have y'all
I feel like I know exactly who you're talking about, Jasmine.
What's the tea,
But
y'all?
that's like to your specific point. We worked with a girl who on our team was the only black girl that was there besides Junie being there when I started.
Mm-hmm.
And on day one, like when you first come to work, you get a vibe of the workplace. Like, what is everybody wearing? How you guys acting? What are you guys doing? And I'm getting that feel. And I'm in my meeting, interviewed with my hair in a slick back bun, but it was a curly bun. You saw that. Came to the first day with my hair curly. And I'm in a meeting with another girl who has her shorter hair, natural hair, but it's not done. And I cannot wait to do this episode because I want to say like all natural, like black women, all natural hair. It's not you rolling out of bed and pulling off that bonnet. That's not natural hair to me. That's a hot mess. And you feel like it's okay to present yourself just by pulling off the bonnet, then that's your personal, you know, but it again sets a precedent of like you can walk around with your two twists in your head, you know, edges not done, hair not brushed, the twist is not combed out like you did the fresh twist this morning. I'll
Just
go
two pigtail
braid,
puffs.
right? Like I'll go to sleep with these braids, but if I wear my hair in braids to work tomorrow, I'm gonna have fresh, quick, fresh braids. Just because I want to present myself well. And to all the women who do not feel like their natural hair is just rolling out of bed, it's not. Like you can wear an afro, but it's not we taking the bonnet off and we just going out the door. Like, no, fix those edges on that afro. Give me
What do they don't want to do their edges though? What if they like their nappy edges?
some people don't do their edges. They don't brush hair
Why
down.
they gotta do their edges
Some
though?
things are unacceptable. Some styles are unacceptable.
In general, it's presentable. And then as like, you know, a black woman who wants to embrace her natural hair, you should want to take care of your natural hair because
that's a good point. Yeah.
Don't embrace it if you're not really going to take care of it the way you know you should.
What I've witnessed with our counterparts is they seem more accepting or they don't say anything to the black girls who wear their hair like that versus us. We're more judgmental on those girls. Like, girl, you didn't do your hair. But they're like, oh, your hair. It's just your hair.
And it's all
but we get the
it's shady. You know it's shady because they're looking at this girl as it's unfortunate that black people in the workplace are still the representation of all black people. Like,
right.
It just is what it is. And to see that somebody can just pull off the bonnet, look in the mirror, eyes crusty, hair crusty, dandruff coming. Like, girl, no, sis. No. You should want to, do better for yourself. And then know, like, I'm very aware that if I come in the building, I'm not only representing Tierra, I'm representing Black women, I'm representing Black men, I'm representing all of us if I'm allotted to be in a space that doesn't really look like me. So I try to put my best foot forward if I'm working with a white person or somebody of another race who's had bad experiences with Black women or good experiences indifferent, your experience with me will hopefully change your perspective on my people is how I kind of try to maneuver in the workplace, because like you said, we have a long way to go. I don't feel like there's enough brown faces in the workplace, and I want to be the person that can let other older white men and women know, like, we can give y'all some more chances. You know, she's doing great.
Right.
Some styles are not for everybody.
Some styles are not. But I definitely think like natural hair in general, natural hair is your natural hair, and in whatever state you want to wear it. But then it comes to, is your natural hair even like presentable? You know what's not presentable and what is presentable. Like, don't snatch the bonnet off and go, that's not presentable.
I don't know why that's killing me. Like, I'm literally seeing like someone just picking up the bottle and just walking out the door.
Like, that's what it be looking like sometimes.
No, like the girl we know had her bonnet on in the car and took it off before she came in the building.
Okay, a scarf wrap or a bonnet? Which one?
Like, if you put your hair, Priscilla, in a bonnet today and pull it off in the morning before work and just walk in that guy, like, that's what we're talking about.
She better have had like a hangover or something, a rough night, something.
I guess every night, every day. It's just her.
Like, it's presentation. The presentation, you see, like the people who wash their face and brush their teeth in the morning. The people who don't.
I think that also has taught. Like, I grew up, you know, our mom, you'd never catch her out the house looking crazy with the bonnet on or anything.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
Right.
We were told, do not walk out of the house with the bonnet. Don't go out the house with the headscarf.
That's a whole nother podcast.
I took that to the extreme in high school, where I literally used to straighten my hair every single day when I wore it straight every single day before school. And I completely damaged my hair because I would do track and then it'll get crazy. And next morning I'm deciding to still straighten my hair after it's a poof ball. Like, so I feel like you have to work with your hair, because then you're going to end up with no hair left if you keep trying to conform to things that does not work with your hair.
Right.
And it's like, you know what looks good. Like, come on, y'all.
Another thing, like as a hairstylist and coach, that I like to tell my clients are, you know, you have to appreciate your hair for what it is, no matter what texture it is, the length, the color, whatever it may be. Your hair is your hair. It's like your DNA, your fingerprint. And with the proper care and maintenance, it can be in a healthy state to where you can like wearing your hair. You can get your hair in a nice style that fits you. And it'll be like what you wear. It doesn't have to be. I think a lot of people have a perception that their hair has to be a certain way in order for it to be beautiful. And I don't agree with that.
Yeah. So
yes, I was definitely a little blinded in high school because.
Oh, she going out again. But I wanted to ask you guys, which was like the perfect thing that we were about to start talking about. What is it that you love most about your hair, or just like natural hair in general?
I love the texture and the feel and the variety.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how it can be straight, it can be curly, it can be pinned up, it can be in a afro. I love the different textures that your hair can go in, depending on what style you do with it.
Right. Priscilla, we was asking, like, what do you love most about natural hair in general?
Yeah, I co-sign that. That's what I love. And I don't, like, when my hair is big, I love big hair. So I just feel like, so I do love it. And then I grew up with natural hair. I've always had natural hair as a kid. So I used to get you need to get a perm comments, or like, why is your hair poofy and curly, yada yada. So I mean, I struggle to keep the hair that I had to have the hair that I have, and I mean, I'm not gonna perm it. And plus, for my hair, it feels weird. But that's another thing. You can have permed hair and have beautiful hair too, guys. But that's the thing. That's the thing about having black hair is that you can do so much, or curly hair, you can do so much to it, and somehow it still stays in our head.
Yeah.
Like this hair is strong, okay?
Yeah,
So yeah.
What about you, Kayla?
What everybody else said, I love the versatility, and I basically love how like we have our own little community. So like all our like hair pages, or if I see somebody, like I saw a lady in Sam's and she just had like, you know, natural curly hair, and I was just like, so pretty. And I love how like all of our curl patterns aren't the same.
Me too. I love that.
So unique.
That's a good one.
Everything to your hair, and you know, twist outs, braid outs, and you know, I can say, hey, your hair looks really good. What did you use? And we have all these different products and stuff. But I feel like they kind of get us because they know we're going to buy it. But like, we just can experiment a lot. And I like that. That I can always, you know, change up my hair and it still be my hair. But it's just like a different style.
Yeah, like you can pull off completely different looks and vibes just by like how you want to wear your hair. And that's so everything that y'all were saying, I think that's my like most favorite part about having natural hair is the fact that I can choose you can kind of like alter your moods, or like you can spice up your outfits with your hairstyle that you have. I guess because we're winding down in our episode, and we talked a lot about like how we perceive other ethnicities and other people looking at our hair. But if each of you guys got to or was able to tell other ethnicities or other women something about our hair, like what would you share? I know I'm going first. I would share. So it's kind of piggybacking off of this whole episode, ask questions. Like in general, I feel like that's a major issue in our society and in our country. We don't ask questions about the things that we don't know anything about. We just automatically jump to, oh, has to be it, or this is why they do this. But if you was just to ask me like, why do you, wear wigs sometimes and then wear your real hair, or, and be conscious of the fact that it could be an uncomfortable situation. So you have to assess, like, is this the right person for me to ask this question to? Do we have an intimate type of relationship to where I'm comfortable of asking you, like, why do you wear wigs sometimes and why do you wear your hair curly? Is something that I would say communication is key.
I really agree with that.
I would want people to know that like, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge me and what I'm capable of just because of the hairstyle that I have. The hairstyle that I chose is the one that I wanted to wear to fulfill whatever I need fulfilled for that day, and that's just what it is. And that's a personal choice, just like what outfit I choose to wear. And as long as it's appropriate enough for whatever environment that I'm in and not distracting, I shouldn't be judged for it. I shouldn't be perceived as ghetto if I wear long braids.
Yeah. Definitely. Who's next?
Curly hair is not wild. It's hair, just a different texture than yours. Just because something is different doesn't mean that you should perceive it as a totally different thing. It's just hair, guys. Like literally, what grows out of my scalp is what grows out of your scalp. It's just I have to do different things to it because it is curly. That's really all it is. And I totally agree with you, Tier, with the questions thing. I'd rather you just ask me a question respectfully ask me a question than make a huge deal out of something that grows out of me. Like, I can't control it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What God gave me. Just be respectful about it. That's all it is.
And if you don't like my hairstyle, just don't say anything at all.
At all. At all.
What about you, Kayla? Anything
Um,
else that you would say?
I would just say, ask before
You
you think
reach.
of a cut. Yeah.
Reach before you reach.
And
I
if
like that.
just go with it and just leave it alone. And I also we didn't touch on this, but I would say like if I wear my hair in a certain way, like in its natural state, how do I say this? No, like don't mimic it. That sort of thing.
Appropriation, is that the word?
Yeah.
Oh. Who did your hairstyle, girl, after you did it? Who did that?
I'm thinking when she says that, like, how white girls crimp their hair
And like try
or
to do
box braids. Ain't no box braids.
Yeah.
Box braids.
Right.
These are cornrows.
Or locks. I hate when white people get locks. I'm like, this defeats the purpose.
Because it doesn't look good. And it's a part of a culture. Like, it's a whole cultural thing. So the average person does not get locks for the right reason anyways. But there's like real reasons behind it.
So,
like certain styles, like French braids. All girls wear French braids.
yeah.
Just don't come to like work with cornrows in your hair, because then we're gonna have to have a conversation. But just be mindful of like different styles for your hair.
Yeah, know what is best for your specific hairstyle. So for the last segment of one of the last segments of the podcast is the Get Your Life segment. And here we share like pretty much our journey with whatever topic we're talking about. So I wanted to ask you guys if you wanted to share kind of like where you are with the ups and lows, the highs and lows of your personal hair journey. I can start and say I've been trying to grow out my hair. I wanted to be consistent, like, getting the trims all the time. And a lady was a hater. That could be a whole nother episode of people chopping off too much for no reason. But she cut my hair super short. And ever since probably like before my birthday in maybe February, I've been trying to grow my hair.
It's growing.
It is growing. Thanks, Kayla. But like to what me saying thanks to Kayla, like sharing us being able to share products and share like techniques and tips and tricks of what happens, because Kayla's my little sister and Kayla's hair is way longer than mine because of how she takes care of her hair. So it's just I'm trying to be good to my hair so my hair will be good to me.
I like that.
Well, I'm at a point right now where I'm just getting over like having a baby, and that does affect your hair. Yeah, I my hair was flawless when I was pregnant, and then like maybe 6 months after I had my baby, my hair started like not being so flawless, and I was like getting sad, like what's going on? But basically, I was experiencing a lot of shedding and split ends, and so I've been trimming my hair as well, just trying to catch up with the split ends. And I actually have not been wearing it in its natural state because while wearing your hair natural and curly is amazing, it also is in a drier state with your ends, so that wasn't good for my ends. So I've been straightening my hair a little bit more than I usually would, but it's been okay. The thing about taking care of your hair is you have to adapt. Life circumstances can affect your hair, stress, age, anything can affect how your hair grows and the texture it ends, and it's just about being in tune with it and being patient with it and working with it, nurturing it. So that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, I've heard that. How after you have a baby, your hair kind of changes completely.
And it's not that it well, some people have worse experience than others, but I will say when you're pregnant, your hair is way more vibrant, better, and it usually grows. And then like after those hormones and stuff balance back out to your normal self, your hair kind of goes back normal. So you probably feel like, oh, my hair is falling out, it's shedding, and it's really just going back to what it was before you was pregnant.
Yeah. Cool. Priscilla, how's your hair journey going, sis?
Well, I've had one hell of a journey. Okay. So like I said, growing up, my hair was always natural, but I never knew how to take care of my hair. So then once my mom was like, "Oh, you gotta do your hair by yourself," I either got braids or I usually like straightened it. So, because that's all I knew how to do. I honestly didn't even know what my hair really looked like for the most part, since when you're like a kid, your mom, they just like pull it and twist it, yada yada. So, so then I recently tried to, okay, so then I cut my hair really short and had shaved sides all around, and then it was like long, like a bob on top, but I straightened that hair all the time. So then, and I dyed it blonde. Anyway, so then from there, I started growing it out, and so then I had to figure out like how to take care of my hair. And so what I learned was wash and goes are not for me. They are of the devil, and they cause a lot of single strand knots that are also of the devil. And so now I just blow dry my hair a lot, and I straightened my hair recently for like the second time. But I'm definitely going to keep it stretched, blow dried. Probably going to do like a wash and go like once a year, honestly.
Yeah.
Because seriously, the amount of single strand knots I got, I didn't even know what a single strand knot was because I always had my hair straight when I wore it. And it's just insane how my hair just likes to tangle around each other. I don't know why. I guess like we in love. I don't know. But I'm just keeping it blow dry now. And I like it.
Yeah.
It's cool. My
I
hair's
really
big.
like the big styles.
Yeah.
The style that you have is one of my faves,
Oh, thanks,
personally.
Sue. Thank you. But yeah, it's definitely a journey trying to figure it all out.
You see, like, even from what we all, like, how we wear our hair and how we experience it, it's all different. And like you said, you don't do the wash and goes. I'm once a week wash and goes.
I
The only
know.
thing I
But
can
they be popping though. It looks good. I like it. It looks good on you.
works. But
Yes, it works for you.
right.
Yes.
I wanted to thank you guys for being on this episode with me. I did want to give a little couple seconds for each of you guys to share your IGs. I'm going to try to put everybody's social on the YouTube videos. But if Kayla, since you're at the top of my screen, if you want to start, and then we'll just share IGs. You can share if you have like any business things going on, or if you want to have people follow you in some way.
Okay. So I only have Instagram. My Instagram is Kayla_Harris15. And what I do is like every week or every 2 weeks, I do Trader Joe's hauls. And I don't know, I love seeing other people's groceries, so I'm pushing my groceries off on other people. But it's fun. So I just go to the store, pick up some cool things, and then I show it on my Instagram. So if you like stuff like that, follow me.
Jasmine, you want to go ahead and pub yourself, girl?
Yeah, so on Instagram, my personal page is jazz_right. That's JASS_RIGHT. I just have a regular Instagram page. It's more of a lifestyle page. I post my family, I post success stories. And then I also have a business page. I am a natural hairstylist, and I am currently taking hair models, to do some styles work with some products and tools to promote. If you'd like to follow me on there, it is Urban Crowns, and that's crowns with a Z at the end.
And she does a really good job with her hair, by the way, and all the pictures I've seen. So you should hit her up. And then Miss Priscilla, Instagramless P, you want to give where people can find you, what you're working on? How's life going for you?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. It went out. I don't know what you said. Well, I don't have social media, so you can follow Jesus instead. Um, and that's all, folks. That's all.
I love
But I want to thank you guys for being on this episode. And thanks to everybody watching, everybody listening on the podcast. And yeah, we can go ahead and give a goodbye together in unison if we want to.
Okay.
Some kind of way. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Be safe.